Welcome to Cars and Health Bars. On this episode, we're going to be doing some tier lists for you guys. A little bit of a more laid back episode. We got PRI today, it will be today. I just wanted to remind you guys one final time, if you want to keep up with us throughout the events of PRI, follow the PRI, or not PRI, the Cars and Health Bar Snapchat at that CNC guy. So that's, I'll probably remind you one more time at the end of the episode, but with that being said, let's get right into it. So, of course, what we have here is a Mustang tier list. Kind of shocked we haven't done one yet. I know we've done one of muscle cars, but not one directly at Mustang. So, this should be fun because I know you have a lot more perspective on the Mustangs than I do.
Yeah, working around them, I've definitely learned a lot more about them, and I don't know anyone who's really owned any in my family.
Yeah, just a lot of friends for sure. I mean, we got Tyler's got a S550, Luke's got a S197. I think
David's S550, Isaac's got a S197.
I mean, Sasquatch has owned a few 2 valves. So
Trying
yeah,
to think if anyone else does. Yeah, there's a guy with a Mercury Cougar, which you might as well call a first-gen Mustang.
yeah. My coworker's got a a 6.6. I can't remember. It's like a 600 cubic inch big block Ford in a Fox body.
Yes, sir.
Well, it's a 7-cylinder now. 1 cylinder left the chat.
Nice.
So yeah, he's got a window in his block, and he has yet to He's yet to mess with it. So yeah, well, let's get right into this. Of course, we're starting out with the S550 here, and I'm gonna go and say it's S tier. That's my favorite body style Mustang personally.
Wait, how can you not put it S tier?
Gen 3 Coyote, MT82. I mean, it just looks so clean.
And I'm going to kind of base the S650 platform in there with it because it's really similar.
Okay.
Like, you think the 5th and 6th gen Camaro are similar? Nah.
Really?
That's
S650 is right there. Yeah, that is a Mach-E, but there's no S. I guess, yeah, let's just call it a Mach-E. So we'll do the... But yeah, S650, in my opinion, it is the cleanest Mustang. I mean, the Termy cars look cool, but, you know, that's just one body style. Any S650, I was even telling Tyler the other day, I was like, dude, I seen a V6 S550, just the body of the S550 just looks so clean, man.
Yeah.
Like, I love them. Like, the headlights, the tail, everything looks so good on those cars.
Yeah, Ford was like, let me cook.
Yeah, for real.
When I look at the S550, I see like a New Edge maxed out, like Master Prestige New Edge.
Yeah, I see that.
It's like the New Edge is already 10 out of 10 for its time, and then Ford just comes out with another banger.
Yeah, I'll say it. I've said it time and time again, but like the 2010s through like mid 2015, 2018, like that era of muscle car was like peak in my opinion. Like you got even like the Challengers with like the orange fog lights, you know, gosh, they just look so iconic. Like we hit a really good era of muscle cars in the early 2010s through mid 2015s. You know, it just looks so clean. Camaro, Mustang, Charger, they all made such killer sports cars. Even the vets, C7s.
I think even like 1990s to 2010.
Yeah, in my opinion, I think peak is after 2010 though. I mean, you even had the C6 during that time too, like the tail end of the C6 there. You know the good C6, the LS3.
And the ZR1.
Yeah, and the ZR1. So I mean, it was just like a great time to be a car enthusiast in that time. Well, I guess not necessarily because you weren't able to afford those kind of cars, but you know, we're on the downhill slide of those cars. You know, so people like our age can get a hold of a SS Camaro or S550 pretty easily. You know, it's pretty common. I think most all our friend group has V8 muscle cars at this point.
Yeah, and that kind of just leads me to a point that I was thinking about earlier today. It's like, I get modifying your V6 car, but at the same time, I just can't relate because I could get a V8 and I wasn't going to settle for a V6. And I feel like guys who get the V6s do all the wrong things with them. Why are you trying to make the V6 a drag car? Go autocross it or something. It would do much better there.
Yeah, because less power. I mean, autocross isn't a power game necessarily.
I mean, power definitely helps, but there's a lot more that you could do with your car effectively.
Yeah, and you would enjoy your car a lot more. I mean, there's nothing worse than getting gapped on the drag strip. It's just like, what do I do about that? Like autocross, you're out there, you're basically you're going against yourself. I mean, you are in drag racing too, but you got that guy right next to you, kind of making you feel like, oh dang, I'm slow. Like, I mean, it's happened to me before. I ran like what a low 12 while a dude beside me ran like 8 or a 9. I mean, I can't do nothing about that.
It is what it is.
Yeah. Anyways, we got the Mach-E here, and I know you don't really have much to say about it either because you haven't really messed with them that much, have you?
I mean, I've rode in them.
I mean, I wouldn't consider them a. I mean, yeah, it's a Mustang, but I wouldn't put it in the category of being a sports car. I mean, I don't know. What do you think?
Yeah,
Because I get a lot of crap talk to me about
it's just its own breed, you know.
EVs is a really gray area where some people really back them up and say, they're sports cars just like the rest of them. But I think there's a fine line between being a car enthusiast and being a like EV guy because like a car enthusiast, I guess to each their own, but just like I want to hear that raw power. I mean, we talked about this before, but I don't classify the Mach-E quite as a sports car. I mean, same thing with like the Tesla Plaid or the Model X, Y. I mean, yeah, whenever Tesla
Really,
comes
I
out with
mean,
whenever
dude,
the whenever they come out with a
have you?
Sportster, whenever they come out with a Sportster, Roadster, whatever it is, I will classify that as a sports car. But I mean, if it's four door, I have a hard time classifying any four door as a sports car. Like, yeah, the Chevy SS is basically a four door Camaro, but it's just hard to consider something that is considered a sedan as a sports car. I feel like you have to be a coupe to be considered a sports car.
I think you could definitely classify Teslas in sports car category. I mean, you look at them doing road course and autocross, like they do good. They move out.
I don't know. I feel like it's a weird area, but I've
And
always
I
kind of been
will
on a hill
say
about
this
four
about
doors.
I will say this about the Mach-E, especially the GT, the higher horsepower.
Yeah.
That thing does move out.
Oh, I bet. I mean, electric. We've seen time and time again they outperform gas most times, especially if it's stock for stock.
Yeah, the Mach-E,
They're more efficient.
I would put it around, since there's not a lot of aftermarket, and it's real limited on what you're doing with that thing. I'm gonna leave it at C.
Okay, I'm fine with that.
I like it, but it's real niche, and most people aren't gonna do much other than like wheels and body work. You're not gonna see maybe some suspension if someone was like stupid. I think because I just don't know anyone who makes parts for those things.
Very true. Yeah. I mean, it is relatively new, but then again, if there's not a want there, there's not going to be support there either. There's a supply and demand there, and it's I don't find, like you said, I don't find people going out of their way to modify these cars. So why would a company go out of their way to design a part that people probably aren't going to be selling much of?
Yeah, it costs a lot of money just to design the part. Why
Oh,
would they?
absolutely. And
And
that
Ford is doing zero interest on all their electric cars. Like they are desperate to sell them.
they are really trying to get rid of them things. That's terrible. Oh man. So you think it was a bad financial decision for Ford to jump into the EV market?
I don't think it was just them jumping in. I think there's definitely some coaxing by the government. There's definitely like an incentive to do it.
Oh,
And
really?
yeah, for sure. Like the whole Biden administration was really trying to push EV.
It's just wild to hear because
And
Ford is
I'm not
typically
trying to talk politics, but like during
right.
their when that cabinet was in there, it was definitely pushed more. And there is a market for it, but America is too dependent on gas. So they were just pushing the wrong thing. It was never going to happen.
I mean, yeah, I agree with that. But yeah, let's go ahead and move on to this next one. I'm going to need your help with the older ones, like the 60s and 70s body styles, because I'm not
Mm-hmm.
super familiar with them. So I'll let you take the reins.
This is like a 75 74, I
That's what I
believe.
was thinking. Because I think
Hmm.
the next one is the next oldest one. I think it's like a 60s, and then this
Yeah,
last
that's
one.
the worst one.
Yeah.
The
But yeah,
Mustang 2.
the 70s body style. What are some opinions you have on it? Were we seeing the 302 Windsor in this car?
The I don't think the 302 is a Windsor. It's 351 Windsor,
Yeah,
351 Cleveland.
351. That's right. Yeah. And then
I'm
the
not
Cleveland.
sure what actually came out in the 74s. I know that was when smog was a thing, so they were lower compression and lower
Oh,
power.
that's
So I
rough.
imagine it doesn't really matter what it's got in it. It's not going to be packing a punch. So as far as that, other than that, in today's era, it's easy to swap it. So it
Yeah.
is like a decent platform.
Speaking of the Cleveland, I recently I think I sold my carburetor to a guy on Marketplace, and he was going on a whole tangent about those 351 Clevelands. He's like, man, you can build them. Like, he was just going on and on about how he builds those Cleveland engines. They make really good power, sound really good. I'm like, all right, dude.
Yeah, a lot of people swear by 'em.
Yeah, I mean, a lot of people swear by the inline sixes making like insane torque, and yeah, I mean, I get it. It's an inline six, and they talk about it. Like that's where the not necessarily Fast and Furious, but like there's memes about old big guys being like, well, it twists the frame coming off the line.
Hmm.
It got that torque from a straight six. But yeah, where do you have the '70s body style Mustang at?
I have it at B tier. I wouldn't go out of
That's
my
fair.
way to get that one. Um, it's I'd rather get like the 70.
That's fair.
Yeah,
Uh,
that body style I'm just not that particular to. I don't think most people are. Some people I have heard say like it, but I'm just not for me.
I see that. So you said this is the Mustang 2 next.
Hmm. Pretty undesirable. This was one of the. I don't think anyone wants one of these cars.
Oh yeah.
Straight D tier for me.
Dang. Do them like that.
I
So,
just don't see any desire to have one.
yeah. So I don't know. I know they're both Fox bodies, but one is a liftback and one is a hatchback, and I
Well,
can't.
one's the early body, one's the late body, one's four
Yeah.
eye
Oh, okay. One's 4i and one's closed headlight. Okay,
round
so
headlight. Yeah.
I'm guessing the 4i is the is it the liftback or the hatchback?
I don't know. I can't see.
Judging by the four and my Camaro is of course my fifth third gen. So let's see. I'm gonna Google it real quick. Liftback Mustang. Oh, liftback.
They could be either. They were lift
Oh,
or
really?
yeah. All of Mustangs were.
Well, I'm talking about like a hatchback or a trunk car. That's what I'm trying to talk about.
Yeah, they could be either.
Oh, and those headlights.
Yeah.
Well, I don't know how to classify these things because I thought that it was one way or the other.
Uh-uh.
Well, I
So
guess
I'm more partial to the round headlight. I think it looks better. It's definitely the more appealing one. And when I think of round headlight Fox, it's just like there's so many different combinations. There's the guys who swear by the 302 and they build their stroker, old school small block that revs to the moon and smacks people like me unsuspectingly on the street races. And you got your big LS turbo guys, so
yeah. So
there's all kinds of market.
the 4i was made from 79 to 86, so like early 80s, and then they switched to the round eye mid 80s to 2000, not 2000 but early late 90s.
Yeah. I definitely got the round eye A tier and the square eye B because really they should both go in the same. But if I gotta rate one higher, then I'm rating the round eye. That's what I like.
That's fair.
And then we got the SN95. Anywhere
Yeah,
you want to put
I
it?
I really grew up hating these cars. Like I really hate this and the new Edge body style. But now that it is starting to kind of grow on me, I'm seeing more builds. Stock, I'm gonna say I still just these cars look horrible stock. I still stand by that. Like not so much the new Edge, but the SN 195. I hate it. I think they look terrible. Like I still really hate the look of these cars stock. Uh, Performance wise, not super sure what comes in them, or I mean, I know the new Edge course has a 2 valve in it, but uh,
These cars could get either the first year they were out, you could still get 302, or after 93, I believe, or maybe it's not, no, 94, my bad. 95, you could get 2 valve.
okay, so kind of like how they did the 350 and like the Z's of whatever year.
Yeah, pretty
Okay,
much.
I got you. Uh, yeah, I'm not really partial to this. Honestly, if it was up to me, I would just put it pretty low because of its looks. But I know that they can look good, they can look right, and
I
I don't know.
got B tier.
Yeah, I figured you'd have it somewhere about halfway up.
I definitely like them when they're built right. I think when they look right, they could be A tier. And you see
Yeah.
my coworker Zach's
I have not.
burgundy with bronze wheels. Dude,
I
that thing is bitchin'.
I thought he was the guy that had the Mopar, the Charge, yeah,
No, different Zach.
Challenger. Okay, not Zach Rogers.
No. It's clean. It make you change your mind about it, I bet.
Yeah, I mean, I'm the same way with the new Edges, man. I hated them so much. Like at the start of the podcast, you probably find video clips of me saying how much I hated them. But the more I see, especially Terminator cars just look so clean, like stock even. Like they just look so good. I've definitely changed my mind about Terminator cars. I'd put them A or S, honestly. I really love the Terminator cars now.
I got the Termies at S tier.
Yeah, I figured, like, God, it's just, like you said, it's
Corvette
like,
killer.
they're up there. I just realized this is the exact that car is in the background of this pitch. Oh, no, because that one's got a yellow rear view mirror. That one doesn't. Okay, side view.
Yeah, I definitely like the new Edge Termies a lot. The first Mustang to get IRS too. And other than that, I mean, the aftermarket for them is insane, just like the S550 and Fox body. So it's a great platform. I would, I wouldn't mind having one myself, to be honest. I think they're great drift cars too. Pick them up cheap. Go get
Yeah,
anything you need at the parts house.
that's a hard thing to, that's something we could factor in also is like the accessibility of these cars, and obviously,
Yeah,
you
the
can find
two
a new Edge
valve
so
is
easy,
so
dude.
common to get parts for.
Man, you could almost get a Termy for cheap nowadays too. I mean, if it's not clean, for sure. Like if you find one that needs a little bit
I
of work,
seen them for 15K before I got my car.
that's crazy to get a blower car. I mean, not really that it's a blower car, but that's a pretty desirable car in the car scene. I would say it's a forgotten car, really. Like people like
I
us.
wouldn't say that. That's a well-known car.
Well, I mean, people that are like new to the car scene that are like learning, they see like a new Edge, they may think, oh, that thing's old, it don't make any power, like you said, it's the Corvette killer. I mean, it's got a blower on it, put a pulley on it. I mean, you're making decent power especially for the age of that car.
Yeah.
I would say for like the less experienced mechanic, like car guys, it's probably overlooked. I would say by newer car enthusiasts, especially people that are just looking at the modern stuff.
Yeah,
Uh,
I think the new Edge shouldn't be slept on. It is
Oh,
S
definitely
tier.
not. It's getting up there with the S550 for me. Like it really is. Like it's definitely my favorite older Mustang. Because yeah, the
I'd probably
Fox
have it
body's
over an
cool.
S550 just because it's cheaper.
Yeah, that is something to factor in. But you can't
You can get a
disagree that
Termy for cheaper than a S550 GT.
yeah, but you do get a lot more out of the S550 because of its handling. It's a lot more. You got more creature comforts. There's just a lot more to factor in whenever it comes to S550 versus a
I'd
new
rather have
Edge.
Termy all day.
Really,
Oh yeah,
man, that
1000%. It's got a lot of stuff that I like.
it's got
It's just
enough
more
for.
raw, dude. It's a raw
I
muscle
get that.
car. I love that.
I get that. What's this next car here? I'm having a hard time figuring it out.
S197.
Okay, and then the next one is
They're both.
Okay, they're both S197s. That's what I
One
thought.
is the '05 or yeah, '05
Oh,
to
kind of like we have facelift on our cars. Well,
yeah,
you got
'05 to
Leighton, yeah.
19.
Okay, I
And
mean,
10 to 12 is it 10 to 12?
oh, I
Yeah,
see.
because
Yeah,
a
the O5's
2010,
it's got the fog lights in the grill or the extra lights in the grill. That's right.
well, they both can, but
Oh, really?
yeah.
Okay. I really don't like that about them. It's just too much going on
Oh,
in the
I
front.
like it. Like Luke's
Really?
car has it.
I really like Isaac's car the way it looks.
Yeah, his is a 10 to 12.
Yeah.
And those could get either the 3 valve or the Coyote, depending on the year.
Does Isaac's have a Coyote in it?
Yeah,
Yeah, I wasn't sure. I don't really know much about his car. I've only seen it one time or two.
it's a glass roof car too.
Yeah,
They did
that's right.
glass roof on that body. It's pretty. It's really dope.
Ford's always kind of been ahead of its time for it to be, a lower end brand. It's not Lincoln or Cadillac. It's just Ford. For them to have some like higher up options like that, it's just crazy in that year, like that early on. It's like my mom's Eddie Bauer having like heated and cooled seats in 2003. That is crazy, dude. To
Yeah,
me, at least. But yeah, the '05. I mean, I'm gonna have the newer one over the '05 personally.
yeah. I mean, as far as where
I like the headlights too. Like the it's got a little bit
yeah,
different of a headlight.
hmm I definitely would put the '05 to '09 in B tier. You can't get a GT 500 in that. It's finally came back, but it's kind of mid because it's really hard to push anything other than stock power through it and not blow it up.
Oh no.
It doesn't get a forged piston or rod, I don't think. I don't even know if the crank is. And then
Why would they slap a blower on a car that don't have forged internals? That's crazy.
that's Ford for you. Powder coat rods, baby. It'll
Powder
handle
coat
just
rods.
enough.
Oh my god.
And then 13 to 14 is what's pictured there, but we'll lump in 10 to 12 too because it's real. Yeah, I mean, you could swap everything over.
Yeah.
So, and they're all Coyote except for 10. But 13 to 14 in particular, that GT 500 got the 5.8 liter instead of the 5.4. So it got a stroker crank, forged rods and pistons, and in my opinion, it looks a lot better.
Yeah, I think so too.
It's more desirable. I've drove one that was convertible, and they definitely got the power to back it up. So I got them at S tier.
Okay.
Yeah,
Wasn't expecting that.
I do. That GT 500 man bumps it up.
It bumps it up.
Like, don't get me wrong, the Termie's cool and all, but those GT 500s, they're kind of wild for what they are.
Yeah, that's fair.
They're pretty uncontrollable in a way. They're definitely known to be. I mean, they're the Mustang that everyone clowns on for wrecking. They're very easy to lose control, and they're straight axle.
Oh yeah, for sure. But yeah, let's wrap it up here with the '60s body style.
Yeah, that's like a 69.
Well, what are we thinking on the '69? I mean, it's the classic. I mean,
It
it's
is the Mustang.
that's the
Other than the
boss car,
65.
OG boss car. Like,
Yeah, I mean,
get out of here.
I don't know where 65 is, by the way. Why do they not have 65?
That's what I was looking for. I was like,
Yeah,
65 is an
but,
iconic car.
this car kind of beats the 65 for me, and excluding Unicorn.
Yeah.
But Unicorn is not really a stock car, so.
Very far from stock.
The GT 500s and these had the 428, I think, or maybe it was a 427 Cobra. And they were like top of the pack in their time.
Yeah.
I mean, aside from Ford actually had one engine. I don't know if it was in that body style, but they took the 427, which was already a beast. It was anything but the Hemi wasn't taking it out. And then what they did is they said, oh, you know that thing called a Coyote? Yeah, we made that back in the 60s. We did a dual overhead cam big block. And it made stupid numbers. It made roughly like 600 horsepower or something back then.
That's insane.
And I don't think it came out in any of the production cars, but they did give it to racing teams, and I think like a few of like the track cars they sold had them, like the Cobra Jets.
Yeah,
I think they did Cobra Jet back then. I don't know, but they got them because they were going to do it for NASCAR. But then NASCAR said, no, this is too much. We got to shut it down. So that's always been like a cool
rough.
story. Because it is like, oh yeah, Cody's king of all. Well, guess what? It happened back then. And no one talked about it. But anyways, where would I rate it? I'd have it A tier. I couldn't put it higher than a Fox body. So yeah.
That's fair.
Yeah, I think that's a pretty fair tier list.
Yeah, I'm okay with that. Yeah, I definitely saw the S650 being the top new edge, but yeah, I didn't expect the 197, the later
Yeah,
197.
I like the 197. I'm very
partial
I got
to
my
it.
own prejudice for
Yeah,
it.
nothing wrong with that. I mean, I didn't really have any opinion on them, especially. But yeah, I don't have any problem with how it's turned out at all. I think it turned out pretty well. I guess with that being said, we can transition into let me hit a pause real quick. And no, we should be good. But yeah, I want to go ahead and swap over here to our Black Ops 6 tier list. Been playing a lot of Black Ops 6 lately, and I just want to go ahead and do a map list. I kind of going into this thought that Jordan had played a little bit more than what I thought, but it's all good. I can definitely give a lot of insight on these because I've been grinding. Look, I think I looked at my hours. I've already got like 25 or 26 hours on COD, which is it's not a lot, but you know it's a lot more than I typically get on a COD game that I'm not super crazy about.
Yeah, we'll see what maps I know because I only play Nuketown 24/7 pretty much.
That's crazy. Nothing wrong with that. I definitely get tired of playing that map though. That
I
map's
be dropping 80 kills, bro. Where you at?
no,
88 kills.
you should have played that
No.
other map whenever it was out. The one where it's like two studio apartments
Oh,
put
I know.
together.
Yeah.
I got 112 kill game on that game on that map. I mean, it's insane. Like you pretty much got to shoot as soon as you spawn in. Like it's that bad.
I've seen that. I like
It's brain
Nuketown, but
rot.
I
It
don't
is
think I'd
worse than
like it.
shipment. It is worse than shipment. It is 1
I
million
think
percent a
Nuketown
camo
just
ground on it.
plays better than like Shipment on those maps. It's better for a
I
smaller
think so
map.
too. Yeah, it's you can get a lot more control on Nuketown. But yeah, so Babylon is the first map. I guess you can just chime in if you've played that map before. Uh, Babylon is a very center focused map. I've noticed, like, it, not necessarily that people hold down the center, but that like the center is definitely a run and gun area. A lot of sniping spots. I personally like it because it works good for like short range, which is kind of my job. I did get
Yeah.
pretty irritated one recent map. Like, dude, these snipers just camp in the back corner of the map, and they were just watching both lanes. Had cut buddies watching for people sneaking up on them. I took them out with a fully cooked like there was no if you had fast hands you wasn't resetting this fuse, dude. It like grenade blew up on impact. Like it was a killer cook grenade. Of course got a popcorn. It's not my favorite map. It's probably not. I'd honestly put it like C tier.
Yeah, I think I've played it, and I would definitely put it there. It didn't flow good for me.
This map I absolutely hate. I really
Do
dislike this
you?
map.
I like it.
Yeah. It has 3 lanes that are very, very narrow, and it's hard to run those lanes if it's a good team because I mean they can really lock down the map. I guess you can kind of get up on the train cars, but even then I've found there's a death sentence. I never have like I mean if I had a good game on here, it wasn't memorable. It was like a very obviously a skill based matchmaking match where it's like, all right, this dude's been getting slapped around. Let's give it to him. I wouldn't say it's C. I wouldn't say it's D tier, but I would say it's man. I don't know.
I
I'm kind of
like it.
curious to see what you have to say about it.
I
I'm kind
like
of
it. I
wanting to
think
add a.
it's pretty fun to play. I've definitely had some high streaks on it.
I'm
I
adding
think
a
it's
tier
easy to
here.
control if you get height and just kind of. There's different areas I like to play. You can play up in the middle a lot, and you can kind of run between all the lanes. I enjoy it. I think I'd have it at B tier.
Okay, I can bump it up. I mean, it's okay. It just I just haven't had any good maps on it matches on it.
It's fair enough.
Now, Lowtown is a map that I really enjoy. I'm not gonna say it's like S, but like A or B looks good for me because this map I originally didn't think flowed that well. There's a lot of map that doesn't get used on this map because on the opposite side from what the loading screen is, like where there's those like a little shopping
Yeah, I
center.
know
I
what
think there's a
you're talking about.
restaurant there. I very rarely see people play those areas in the map, especially on team deathmatch. It's kind of like a forgotten lane because a lot of people just focus so much on the center, that broken down building, and then of course that other area where we're looking at on the loading screen
Yeah.
there. It seems like those are the three most popular areas, and I find it weird that there's dead sides of a map like that. But yeah, I don't have it super high. I do enjoy playing it though, for sure. It just it can definitely be a hard one to play if you have a good enemy team because that building, that lane can really be held down well where that building is.
I liked it pretty good. It was pretty easy to tell where people like to play when I first played it.
Yeah,
So I always enjoyed it because it was easy to play.
I'm thinking like B or A tier. I really like this map.
Yeah, I can put it A tier. I definitely like it more than Derelict.
This map is probably my favorite, hands down. I love this map. It's one house. I mean, there's smaller buildings, but it's like a main house. There's like
Yeah,
cut throughs. I love it, man. This is probably my favorite map, hands down. I mean, I could drop. I was telling Trevor, I was like, even on like a bad skill based matchmaking match where I'm getting like really messed up by higher skilled players, I can still pull out my shotgun and do halfway decent, at least break even. I mean, I haven't even found a
yeah,
game where that's happened. Like I really do well on this map on payback. I got it S tier. Like I love this map.
yeah. I think it's fair to put it S tier because out of all the other maps, I think it probably is one of. If it ain't the favorite, then it's like there might be one other.
Yeah. I don't know if you've played Protocol. I really dislike this map. I've never found it's
Oh, I
just
don't mind it.
the only thing that I don't like about it is if the enemy team is camping that building there, the tall building, it's so easy for them to get map control because they can like very easily watch that front yard and have somebody like watching their back. It just seems like it's like we're storming the hill, like it's that map on European Assault where it's like if you got the church, you pretty much got to run through that graveyard and hope you don't get sniped.
Hmm.
I don't know. And that's another map where it's like there's a lot more map to be had, but there's so much focus on that area of the map. It almost forces it to be a one-sided thing.
I'd have it B tier. I don't mind it. It's I enjoy it. Definitely like clips to be had.
Yeah. Red Card, I haven't really played all that much. The matches that I have played, I find it to be a very open map, and I've had good games on there, and I've had bad games on there. But it seems for the most part, it's a very open map. It leaves you very vulnerable. It's almost like you have to play like an AR or a sniper. There are places to run mid range, mid to short range, but there's very few lanes that you can do that on. And I don't know. I'm curious to see what you have to say about this map.
I'm not sure I remember that one.
It's the one where they're on. It's like outside of a stadium. Like part of it is in the stadium. It's just where the seats are and stuff. And there's a parking garage. It's a pretty large map.
I don't think I've played it.
Yeah, I'm not a big fan. I mean, I'll put it like C or D because it's just. I think I'd rather play Babylon honestly. So I'm gonna put it in D tier. I really don't like this map at all.
That
Uh,
explains why I don't see it.
yeah. Rewind. Yeah, I love where you can vote on maps again. Keeps playing terrible maps out of the equation. Uh, Rewind, I really hated in the beginning because it seemed like the center of the map was so sniper heavy and there was no cover at all. It was almost like playing Warzone. But
Yeah.
the more that I find out, okay, I can stick to the lane that has the building and run that, or I can try to work my way into the restaurant side on the other side of the street. I don't necessarily hate it, but I still do find it very annoying. It almost reminds me of Flood Zone because if there's
Oh
a
no.
sniper, they just have so much control over the game. Like if they have a good team keeping the riffraff off their back, they can really go to town on you. I mean, it's just so open in that center area. It feels like Battlefield 2042, like it really at launch.
Dang. I haven't played it.
Oh, really? You haven't played this map?
No, I don't think so.
I got it with Babylon. It's okay. Like I said, I hated it during the beginning, but there's ways around those snipers. I'm curious to see what you have to say about Scud.
I'm having trouble even seeing what it is.
So it's the one where it's a big desert with like trenches and sandbags and stuff, and then there's a big satellite dish that fell into the ground in the middle of the map.
Man, I don't even feel like I played it. I can't remember.
Okay, it's going F tier. It is. I hate this map with a burning, fiery
Oh, wait, is
passion.
it got the building in the middle?
No, there's a satellite dish in the middle. There's buildings kind of scattered around the map, but yeah, it's got the satellite dish in the very middle.
Oh, wait, is it the snowy kind of map?
No. That's Vorkuta.
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, I haven't played it, I don't think.
Oh, it's garbage. I despise this map. Like, there's no cover whatsoever. It's like, and if you go in a building, there's always a dude just sitting there waiting, camping with his buddy. Like, I despise this map. I will dang near leave a match if it gets voted in. That's how much I despise this map. It's just like so
No,
terrible.
there are those maps and games for sure.
I hate it just about as much as I hate Aftermath on Black Ops
Black,
2. I'd
I was
rather
about
play
to say
Aftermath.
Black Ops 2. But you know what? My high skill game on Black Ops 2 is on Aftermath.
That's saying something because that was for skill based matchmaking.
Hmm.
Like homie just went in naturally. Uh, Skyline I don't hate. I don't never seen the loading screen look like that. Skyline, like I said,
I like it.
I think it's good to mid. I,
I think it's one of the better maps.
I find it very annoying that your team and the enemy team will get locked in that stalemate of trying to cross that center like
Huh.
upstairs area. It's just like the Revolutionary War where they just
I
stand
never
at
go
across
for
from
it.
you. It's so dumb. Like you're just if you get a kill, you're probably not going to get one next time. You're just it's a 50-50 almost. It's just whoever's got the more like accurate or higher powered weapon. It's just
Uh,
there's no leading leverage to that area there.
yeah,
I'd
I
rather
always
work the
play one of the
outskirts.
side lanes. I mean, that's
Yeah.
what anyone smart would do, I think.
Oh, and when in doubt, you got to go the underbellies, get that good flank. That's what I
Yeah.
do. I got Ghost on. I hear there's a UAV inbound. I'm about to go like real deep.
I
Yeah, I got a B or A. I can't justify S tier.
can do A tier. I like it.
Subsonic, I find it to be the most fast-paced map almost on this game, other than that studio apartment one. It just plays so insanely quickly and
It does.
aggressively. Like it just feels like on Team Deathmatch, the match lasts like 5 minutes tops. Like I don't know, it's just with the combination of the explosives, the close range. It's just like you find yourself in engagements really quickly. If the map's moving quick, you're liable to get spawn killed a bunch of times. Uh, I don't mind this map, but I don't enjoy it either. It's just too much like chaos for me.
I like it. It's pretty easy.
Yeah, it's definitely easy. I just I find people camp that hangar so much. It just makes me so angry. But I did find out you can just open those doors from the outside and gun them
Yeah.
down. So yeah, I'll kind of free willy where you want to put this one at.
I'd say B tier. I play it more in Babylon.
Yeah.
You got an
Oh,
A.
yeah, my bad. Vault. I've had good matches. I've had bad matches. It seems like I get the harder matches on Vault. Like, uh, and it sucks too because I mean, if it isn't apparent, I play short range, so this map is not the greatest for short range unless you're in that building, kind of running around. That's kind of the
Yeah.
best bet for me because anytime I go out, it seems like I get picked off by somebody that's in that other building in the upstairs window.
I'm really not that big on it.
I'm not a big fan on it. I never seem to do real well on this map. Even if I do swap over to like mid range, it's just I'm just getting smacked around. I would
I
put it like
just
D
would
or
rather
C.
choose others.
Yeah, I would honestly put it in C, looking at what's in or in D, looking at what's in C.
Yeah.
And then the very last one here, I don't know. I'm pretty both sides. I've had good maps, I've had bad matches. I'm kind of curious to see what you have to say.
I would probably have it in. I almost want to put it A tier.
Oh yeah, you like it that much?
I do like it.
Yeah, I find on objective-based game modes, I have a lot easier time playing this map. I feel like Team Deathmatch just plays really sporadically on this map because it's just that I feel like it is one of those maps where the whole map gets used. It seems like there's a lot of movement. A lot of people venture out to different places. It feels like a
Yeah.
large map, but I don't necessarily think it is.
It's
Uh,
just got a lot of like different lanes.
Yeah, I like that, and I also like the different levels that there are. You've You've got where you can aim down at the people down low on that far side of the map. You've got the dish. You've got, there's a lot of different like levels to that map. It's not all flat ground.
Yeah, I agree.
Yeah, I'm pretty happy with this list.
Where's Nuketown?
Yeah, Nuketown's not on here. The studio
That's
apartment
true.
map. Yeah. Uh, yeah, there's a few missions. There's a brand new map with season 1. It's from a Black Ops 4 map. I can't remember what it's called. But
Don't
yeah.
know.
All right, guys. Well, that's our episode for today. If you haven't already, like I said, hop on over to Snapchat and follow the Snapchat podcast at that CNC guy. You can keep up with us throughout the week and be looking out for that PRI episode next week. And with that being said, guys, we will catch you in the next one.
Abiba.